So this is massive, all right? A Republican representative has come out and said that he would lean towards impeachment if Trump invades Greenland. Yeah. This is a Republican representative we're talking about here. His name is Representative Don Bacon from Nebraska, and he describes this whole thing as utter buffoonery. So we're going to break it down, look at a ton of articles and videos of this whole situation, and really showcase how screwed Trump is here, not only through Republican politicians finally turning away from him, but also the general populace and Generation Z as well. So let's dive in. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe down below, comment, and share this video with others so more people can see it. We really appreciate it. All right, let's jump in. All right, so we are looking at this Hill article right here where it talks about Representative Bacon's statements, and he even says here that it's ridiculous that this has to even be done, he told the Omaha World Herald. But when the president talks about taking Greenland one way or the other way every day this last week or so, and that is unacceptable if Greenland refuses to be part of the United States, I felt like I needed to make a statement that Republicans disagree. And I love that he mentions Republicans plural there, because that means there is more than one Republican that are not on board with this absolute buffoonery, as he calls it, utter buffoonery, to think that we should compel Greenland to be part of the United States. Wow, a Republican politician with some sense and morals. That's interesting. I wonder where those were for the past few years, but hey, you know what? At least they're here now, I guess. The Nebraska representative's comments, according to the article, come as Trump has ramped up rhetoric around annexing the Danish territory for national security reasons. Despite the large pushback from lawmakers not only here in the States, but also Greenland and in Denmark and other NATO allies, including France and Germany and England and the Netherlands, and the list kind of goes on and on here. It says right here, he then continues, you don't treat your allies that way. You do that with Russia or China, Iran, but don't treat your best friends like a piece of excrement. Well, we know what he said there, right? He then continues saying that's what he's doing. I think it's totally wrong to treat your best friends like this and bully them, the lawmaker added. Yeah, I mean, this is spot on. This actually sounds like good, effective speaking, right? This sounds like good pushback. I feel like this is more pushback than I've seen from most Democrats on this issue, but it is so nice to see it from someone with the power to actually flip some votes in the House. And if impeachment is on the table here and Republicans are on board, this could be massive. And even here, the article mentions other Republicans have shared similar concerns regarding the potential use of military force to acquire Greenland amid proposals to purchase the territory. Senator Tom Tillis of North Carolina has actually said the actual execution of anything that would involve a taking of a sovereign territory that is part of a sovereign nation, I think would be met with pretty substantial opposition in Congress. Again, another Republican coming out and being like, nope, this is not okay. We are not going to do this. As well as Susan Collins in Maine. She told The Hill on Wednesday that she does not support the president's plan. And also Senator James Lankford from Oklahoma here has also echoed the sentiment, saying Greenland, the Danes are allies, right? We cannot do military action in Greenland, should not, cannot. So there it is, right? This is a group of Republicans that are basically saying hell no. And Bacon right here is also saying impeachment will be on the table if Trump goes forward with this. Representative Bacon also did an interview with CNN where he had some pretty choice words for the president. Let's take a look.
Well, maybe the Supreme Court will rule this week or this coming week that tariffs are unconstitutional. I personally believe they should originate from the House. It's the Congress or the legislature responsibility in Article 1 to raise revenues and determine tariffs, not the president. So just on tariffs alone, I disagree with the statement. But to threaten countries who oppose his strange talk on Greenland is also absurd.
All right, we're going to pause it right there to talk about this for a second, because exactly. Right? He, as a Republican, has the responsibility to speak up in this moment and also talk against Trump's insane tariff policy, which, to be honest, is extremely unpopular, right? We've seen that Trump is negative 19 points in the polls right now when it comes to the economy because of his horrid policy on tariffs and just threatening them, using them like a weapon to any country that dares disagree with him or dares protect Greenland. Well, we're going to tariff you. It's like, okay, using tariffs as a weapon like this is completely unconstitutional. And even Representative Bacon right here, a Republican, let me say that again, is speaking out against the president, saying he does not have the power to enact these tariffs. That is Congress's job. It's pretty great to see. But then right here, Wolf Blitzer asks what would happen if Trump goes forward with his plan, and the response will shock you. Let's take a look.
So what would happen if he decided to use military force to take over Greenland?
Well, I think one way or the other way, whether it's even Republican control or if it's Democrat control after November, I think it would lead to impeachment. I think it's invading ally to me is a high crime and misdemeanor, and we have a treaty. We have the NATO agreement and it would be basically severing this whole agreement and invading an ally.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to pause it right there because wow, right? Oh my God, right? He is not pulling any punches and he is saying it exactly how it is. They are going to impeach Trump, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat led House. That is what Representative Bacon just said right there. I cannot believe it. This is incredible coming, especially from a Republican politician. So, what he's saying here is that Trump could be impeached under a Republican led House or a Democrat led one. He is not getting out of this. Trump is kind of screwed if he goes for Greenland in the manner that he's trying to right now. Incredible. And clearly, Bacon is not alone in this. There are other Republicans against this as well. Bacon has said, I'll be candid with you, there are so many Republicans mad about this. And there are so many Republicans willing to vote against Trump in this manner, right? There are so many Republicans that are against this, including Senator Thom Tillis, right, of North Carolina. He said that he would block any of Trump's appointees for the new Fed chair. So this is another Republican, a different issue, pushing back against Trump, just showcasing the cracks that are starting to form amongst the Republican Party, right? They're finally starting to push against Donald Trump's moronic policy and actually say, you know what? No. I'm not going to go hook, line, and sinker with everything that you say, whether that be the invasion of Greenland from representatives like Bacon right there, or from a Senator Thom Tillis talking about blocking Trump's new appointments for Fed chair right here. This is a CNBC article that talks about it, right? It even says right here, Senator Thom Tillis said Sunday that he will block any Trump appointees of the central bank, including a new chair in light of the revelations of the Justice Department investigating Powell, right? Just another example of Republicans just saying no to Trump. But Senator Thom Tillis and Representative Bacon are not alone in this, right? They are just following America's lead on this issue because new polling is out and it does not look good for Trump, right? New polling shows that only around 37% of adults in the United States approve of how Trump is handling foreign policy. This is from a January 12th and 13th poll that showed that 56% of those polled disapprove of Trump's international actions, while 7% were unsure, so that number could rise as well. Another 56% of Americans either strongly oppose or oppose the U.S.'s military taking action in Venezuela. 36% of Americans approve how Trump is handling the economy. 57% disapprove. 38% approve of how Trump is performing in office. Only 38%. 56% disapprove. These poll numbers are abysmal, right? I mean, still, how could 38% of people still approve of Trump at this point? But hey, we'll take it, right? 38% being in the 30s for Trump, who has this solid 30% block that will just ride or die for whatever he does, is insane. And it gets even worse if you look at Generation Z. There is new CBS News data from Harry Enton that shows that Trump went from plus 10 amongst Generation Z to now negative 32 points underwater. This is huge, right? Gen Z made up a huge voting block for Donald Trump back in 2024 when he was voted in because a lot of Generation Z didn't remember how shitty Trump's first term was, and then they voted at him to try to shake up the establishment and basically do 2016 all over again. And Gen Z is 1997 to 2012. I am a Generation Z myself, voted for Kamala, not for Trump. But still, Generation Z has come around and flip-flop immediately, right? They became conservative for like the most important 6-month block of our history and then just decided, you know what, actually, wait, this guy sucks. This is all bad because Trump just did Trump 2.0, right? So Gen Z, not remembering what Trump 1.0 was like, voted him in, and now they're seeing the consequences of that vote, and they are switching up fast. Generation Z is not happy about this administration at all, which is huge for the midterms. It's huge for new elections because Generation Z is unhappy with not only Donald Trump, but also the Republican Party at large. So Trump may have the majority in the House right now, but that majority is paper thin. It is nothing, right? And they will have no power after the midterms. They are just a few votes away from impeachment. Marjorie Taylor Greene has left, one of Trump's strongest soldiers. 26 Republicans are no longer running for re-election. This is just overall great news, and the Republicans here are looking really shitty going into 2026. People are turning on Trump left and right, whether they be Republican politicians or the voting base in general, and he is losing that faster than he ever has before. I mean, he is truly royally screwed. Like, Trump is cooked, all right? He is done. It's just a matter of how fast we can get him out. But that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for sticking around. Be sure to like this video if you liked it. Comment down below your thoughts on this whole situation, on Representative Doug Bacon. Make sure you say thank you for actually having a spine, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate it. It helps out a lot, and it's the best and easiest way to show your support. And hey, it's free. So do us a favor, comment, share this video, subscribe, leave a like, and have a great day. Goodbye.